Hi, Amy with Experience the Quilt. I wanted to share a quick little way to couch this adorable little turtle on your quilts. I've had a lot of people ask me about how to couch, and so I thought I would share it on here. I don't do it on my domestic machine. I do use my Longarm. It's much easier for me because I have a computerized program, but I wanted to share. I did design this turtle in ProStitcher Designer. You don't have to do that. You can just pick things out of your catalog. There's lots of things like bees and cute things like that. But I really wanted a turtle because I'm doing a really simple baby quilt. There's actually 2 loaded on my machine right now. I'm doing 2 at a time. And so this they've quilted both all the way across with these fun waves. And then I'm individually couching turtles onto it just sporadically. And I did that because I just didn't want an edge-to-edge design of turtles this time. I just thought it'd be fun to add just a few. So I had this really fun seafoam green yarn from Bernat blanket yarn. It might be baby blanket. I can't remember. Get whatever color you can get. It doesn't matter. Blanket or baby blanket. They both work. So now I'm going to show you using ProStitcher how I do this, how fun it is. So I created an area. It's about, let's see, this says it's 8 by 8.5 inch square. And that's just the size of turtle I wanted. You can make different sizes and it's so fun and really easy. But I already did this over on that other quilt. So it's a really easy way to move. I have found this without having to create a new area every time. All I did was figure out where I want it. So I've got my needle, my foot, right at the right hand bottom corner of where I want my square to be. Okay, so now all I have to do is go to, let's see, modify and reposition. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to select area first and select my area. So I'm moving the area first, and then I'm going to modify and reposition. And then I'm going to select over on this right side, and I will push, let's see, I think it's bottom right. Let's look, push the house button. Yep, that's where I want it. So see how it's over here. Oops, now it's pink. My area is not selected anymore. I can go back up and select again, but when it's green, that means it's selected. So now my area is over where I want it to be. That's where my other turtle was on the other quilt. So now instead of having to move my turtle, I'm just going to touch it and select it. Then I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to hit skew. And then I'm going to hit over here, no skew, and then skew again. And it pulls it over to my area and it makes it fit. Skew means it's going to make my pattern fit to the area that I have. So I don't have to adjust bigger, smaller, anything. It just explodes it to the area, if that makes sense, to fit the area. So I love that. It was a really fast way. So now I'll probably keep the same area and move to another spot on my quilt just by doing that same exact thing. And now I'm going to just couch it out. Okay, so when I am couching, I turn off all my start and ends, my tie-offs, my pull-ups, all those things. I don't turn off the start and end of the design. I turn off the tie-off at the start and the end. Because when you are couching, you need to start with your yarn in your foot. And when you do that, you have to pull up your thread and tie it off to get the yarn into the foot. So there's no reason to do it again. And I have found that it's just kind of scary with dealing with yarn if I have to do that twice. So now I've done my tie off. I've pulled my bottom to the top and I've done my tie off. So I have these tails here to pull my yarn through. So now I'm going to stick my yarn. I'm going to wrap it around the thread under the needle. Okay. Pull it off to the right, go down and up, and then I don't bring anything up. It's already up, right? I pull on my tails and move the machine. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It's a little tight, so it scares people, but as long as you've gone up and down like a good 3 times, you're fine. So now my yarn is through the foot. I'm going to cut my tails. I don't need them anymore. And now I'm ready to start. There's not going to be a pull-up or a start tie-off because I've already done that. I also have changed my stitches to 15 stitches per inch because I have found that it holds the yarn on much more secure when we are couching rather than a 12 stitches per inch, which is what I normally use to quilt a there we go. I put my needle up, I clip my yarn, and then you can just do an up and down tie off, or you can just kind of stitch back and forth that end and it locks it in. I have a multicolored thread that I did quilt the quilt with. I just leave it on because it gets buried. You don't really need to match the thread to your yarn because it just hides in that nice fuzzy chenille yarn. And there we go. We have an adorable little turtle on our quilt. So this is a great way to add some fun and pizzazz to a very basic quilt. You can do it with busier, more pieced quilts, like with more piecing in it. But this is really fun for beginners that don't have a lot of maybe quilting skill, but they want to make something just really fabulous for a gift. This is a fun way to make it really pop. And it's so fun, especially great for baby quilts because there's just so much texture and it's so cuddly and it washes up great. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. For more like it, just hit that subscribe button below and check out the rest of our YouTube channel. You'll also find videos and tutorials on everything art quilts, whether you're just beginning or learning to enhance your skill.